In this video, I'll show you how to build an easy no-filter shrimp tank. I'm starting off with a 3-gallon bowl that I got a great deal off of Facebook Marketplace. I had these interesting pieces of wood, and after playing around a little bit with the layout, I found a nice design. I used the cotton ball and super glue method to bond these pieces together, and I'll end up covering them later with moss. To give some extra nutrients for the plants, I'll be using these root tabs. One tip is to crush them into a fine powder, that way it's evenly distributed. Next, I will top it off with a good layer of aqua soil. If you wanted to, you can definitely cap it off with sand or gravel, but I think this dark look really makes the cherry shrimp pop in the end. I'll be adding to the structure, and I want some of the wood coming out of the water, that way it gives a pond feel. It's important to not rush this process and definitely take your time with the hardscape until you find a design that you like. I definitely played around with this much longer than the video shows. This is the hardscape that I liked, and I think it'll look much better once we add some plants. One way to attach plants is with super glue, and you don't have to use much to make it secure. Another method is to use fishing line and to tie a knot. Eventually the plant will grow and cover that line. I think the shrimp are going to love foraging in this plant, and whenever they reproduce, I think the babies will find a safe haven here. This next plant is Anubias petite, and it's important to clear the roots of this medium that the plant comes in. I'll use the super glue method to attach it to the driftwood, and these plants don't actually need to be planted in the substrate. After attaching the Anubias petite, I'm making sure to fill the tank up quickly, that way the plants don't dry out. Saran wrap is a perfect way to help disperse the water. This is where I encountered my first mistake. Wood is buoyant and floats, and I didn't weigh down the structure with a stone or heavy object. For now, I'll use a bowl to help the structure not float. This is Salvinia minima and is a great floating plant for any tank. This plant will act as a natural filter. This was my solution to weighing down the structure. I will use the same cotton ball and super glue method, which bonds quite instantly, and this should hold the structure down. Now's the fun part. This is Java moss, and I'm going to be adding it around the tank. You could super glue it, but I'm mainly just going to be sticking it in cracks and also to cover those exposed cotton ball super glue parts. I ended up adding an air stone I had on hand initially, just until the tank cycled, but I will remove it before the shrimp go in there, that way it's a true no filter tank. I'm going to be adding some corrugated plastic in the back, and the tank looks fine right now, but I want to give it more of a pond feel, and this will help me build up a little bit of height in the back with aqua soil. That way I can plant a parlor palm. The reason I'm only using part of the back is I want the shrimp to have as much room as they can to explore and thrive. After filling the aqua soil up just above the water surface, it's time to start planting. This was the initial palm I got. I'm not sure the exact name, but it ended up being a little bit too big, so I went with the parlor palm. I've actually used this in a paludarium before, so I know that it'll thrive in these conditions. For now, this will be the only plant, and it's time to hide that hideous corrugated plastic. I was told this was a floating plant, but it kind of looks like moss, so I'm going to try it out here in the aqua soil and see how it goes. I'm also using some cork bark. I thought about using some stones, but I ended up having this on hand, and it actually came together fairly nice. Now that the tank's complete, I let it sit for about 2 weeks, and I also added some established filter media. This will help jumpstart this ecosystem. Now I've had the shrimp acclimating for about 30 minutes, and it's finally time to add them. Giving the tank time to set up is not only beneficial to help the tank cycle, but it also lets some biofilm and algae build up. That way the shrimp actually have some stuff to eat. You can definitely buy food, but in my prior experience, I've let them just live in the tank and they've bred successfully. Enjoy the tank.